Hi, this is Aaron Maslansky, and you are about to listen to the next episode of Inside the Skev. This is the podcast where we get to know the really interesting people of Skokie and Evanston and what they are up to. If you listen and realize you want to be here, or if you need help buying or selling real estate anywhere in the Chicagoland area, please reach out to me because I can help you. I'm a realtor with Dreamtown Realty in downtown Evanston, and I can be reached at my website at aaronmaslansky.com or email me. The easiest way is Aaron, Aaron, at skevinston.com. Now, let's start the show. Welcome to Inside the Skev, and I'm your host, Aaron Maslansky. Today, we're sitting down here with Annie Coakley, who is the head of the organization called Downtown Evanston, which helps promote businesses in downtown Evanston, a little bit outside the Skev, but in the Ev, for sure, in the middle of it. So just wanted to say thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, Annie, we met each other here at Industrious because I work out here sometimes, and you have your office here in downtown Evanston, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Industrious is pretty killer. Happy to be here. We previously had an office for years at 820 Davis, which is a fine building, but it didn't have windows, our actual office, and now it's just nothing but windows, and it's been a game changer.
Yeah, sunlight's a kind of a benefit.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like negative 25 degrees
the polar
outside.
vortex, you want the sunshine.
Yeah, we're recording this we survived the polar vortex, so it's crazy. So what do you do? What does your organization do, and how did you get into it?
So I'll start with Downtown Evanston. It is a 501c6 nonprofit for business. We are not a member organization similar to chambers all over the country. They're member organizations, but we are funded by the commercial property tax that is levied and then collected by the Cook County tax assessor, transferred to the city of Evanston, and then we basically invoice the city of Evanston quarterly for those funds. And we're a service provider for an SSA. SSA stands for Special Service Area. A lot of other cities call them BIDs, Business Improvement Districts. It's essentially an organization that provides services above what your municipality would naturally provide. So the city of Evanston removes the garbage down here once a week. We do it every other day. That's just one example. So
it's kind of like, for all the planning nerds listening, it's kind of like a TIF, but not a TIF because it's just a special tax on a certain district.
Correct. It's a TIF is, tax increment financing is when you freeze the tax at the base from when the district is created, and then all of the monies that are collected above that frozen line are collected to be used for infrastructure improvements, or in Chicago, God knows. God. And to follow up with your first question, how I got into this, I worked for the City of Chicago's Department of Planning and Development for 20 years. So I oversaw all of the SSA districts in Chicago. It's similar to a TIF, only a little different, or a lot different. It is a taxing district, and it's alive for like 10 years typically.
Okay, so it's shorter than a TIF.
Yeah, not 23 like a TIF. It's 10 years or 5, depending on the local kind of threshold for what you would like to see this money do. It's enacted by an enabling ordinance, which means it's like quote unquote good for you at the state level. They were created in 1976, mainly in rural areas to create infrastructure for a set improvement, originally, I believe, to bring plumbing to rural areas. And then once it was up and running, the tax went away and it was over. But within the guidelines of what an SSA can do, economic development very broadly is a line or a service that can be used for it. So the city of Chicago in 1976, SSA number 1, State Street, created it to provide enhanced services. And
is that when they made it into pedestrian boulevard?
That was in the 80s, but it was started to, very similar to downtown Evanston, to market the area in general. Yeah. And provide, I think, flowers, So, yeah, Downtown Evanston, its actual name is Evmark, as in Evanston Marketing.
Okay.
But we DBA, do business as Downtown Evanston, was created in 1987.
So, I mean, I grew up in the area and I've seen the transformation of downtown Evanston, and it used to be a lot of parking lots and cool shops. I mean, it was cool, but it's completely changed since then. So,
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the residential development.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you bring people and it becomes a 24-hour destination.
Yeah, it's a legit downtown. I think in the city's plan commission, I want to say around 1976, once again, actually created a plan that downtown Evanston was a CBD, a central business district.
Okay. So what are some of the things that, so, I mean, I guess some of the things that it's done is it's promoted, it's marketed downtown Evanston, and so that's helped get some of the residential development going around here. Did it help with like getting the movie theater in downtown Evanston and some of the other businesses and things like that?
One of the things that we strive for is business attraction, but we also are spending a lot of our time and money right now in retention. Mm-hmm. With retail the way it is, it's a confusing time for a lot of people, and we have a handful of, actually have a strong amount of independently owned and operated businesses, and we'd like to see them stay here. So we're usually spending a lot of our efforts, or spending our dollars and putting our efforts towards the retention of these businesses, in large part because I think a lot of people moved here for the uniqueness that downtown, or just in Evanston in general, provides, that there are funky little shops, you know, kind of keep Evanston weird, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess at one point it was more to help businesses compete with the larger malls like Old Orchard.
Definitely.
And now you're kind of changing to like the Amazons.
Yeah, I mean, our biggest threat is the mall. It always has been since it was created. It's, you know, it's a mall. It's very convenient. You park one's place. It's free parking, like the dirtiest word in town. But it's very, you know, it's a mall. There's nothing funky over there. You know exactly you're going to buy a blue shirt. You know where you're going.
Right.
Here you go into stores, you find things that you wouldn't see normally. But it's a struggle. I mean, our businesses are struggling against the mall first and then the internet, or vice versa. A lot of them are saying they have noticed their customers will come in, look at something, maybe look at the brand, out the door, and they know exactly what's happening. They're going to try to find a better deal online.
Right.
And it's, to me, one of the biggest shames that people could be doing. I mean, if everyone in this general area cared about the town that they moved here for, the funkiness of it, they would just avoid the internet shopping. I know it's easy, I know it's convenient, and oftentimes there's a deal, but there's so much to consider when you're shopping online and sitting on your couch and just buying stuff.
Yeah, guilty
Environmentally, you're not alone. I don't do it, honestly.
Yeah.
But I never did. I need to like try stuff on. I just am not the type that would look at something and say I have to buy that.
Was it a big thing to get Target into downtown Evanston?
It had been an effort, yes. Before me, even, you know, I've been in this position for almost 5 years, and yeah, I think Target's like the city, you know, size Target, so like a smaller platform that Target provides in a lot of urban areas was something the city had been working on. And I think actually one of the slam dunks to get Target was us telling them this $6 million improvement across the street was happening. So that would be Fountain Square. You know, our previous Fountain Square was built in 1976. It needed a major facelift. And I joke because that's the year I was born, and I'm like, we both could use a little facelift.
We all could.
And I think when they saw the plans and the renderings for what was going to happen, they were like, oh, for sure. Yeah, we could definitely make that a priority. I mean, they're everywhere. Target, and it hasn't affected, I don't think, any of our small businesses. It's really a grocery store if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it didn't start that way, but
right.
It's
No,
somewhat
and
become
I
that.
mean ours, this one, it's heavily, there's a lot of grocery. I see people going in and out there with just general kind of convenience store things. They have clothes, sure. I don't see them flying off the rack.
I think I'm actually wearing a shirt from there.
It's great, but I don't think it's exactly the threat that originally was thought of when our small businesses were like, you're bringing a Target here. Oh, my God, are people going to shop in my store? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
They will, because it brings people down there, and it's another attraction. And if you go to the bookstore or go to Barnes & Noble.
Right.
And then you've got the huge parking garage right there, too, which is really
Super
helpful.
convenient.
And the train.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, there are two businesses directly across from Target that have seen the benefits of having Target.
Which businesses?
Benefit Cosmetics and the Spice and Tea Exchange.
Okay.
They're like, oh, wait, we're getting so much foot traffic, and people will come in and say, I was at Target, and I saw your store. How long have you been here? Benefit's like, 11 years.
It helps.
Thanks for noticing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's also helpful for them to have the construction done on the new Fountain Square. And
yeah, that was...
it looks beautiful.
It's great. It's great. It's beautiful. It was very painful for a lot of... Yeah, the construction stinks. There's no two ways about it.
Right.
But you had to keep your eye on the prize. We're going to have this amazing public plaza where you can actually sit and use it. You remember the old one was just sort of like split up and very divided, and you couldn't really exit and enter. It was just super clunky.
Yeah, it was
And then
clunky.
across the street was just basically a couple branches. It was like bushes and a couple trees. It was just unused land. And now it's this festoon lighting and a patio with the bistro tables, and it's just it's a total game changer.
And do you guys run a lot of events out of that space?
We do. We're definitely, when the plans were being discussed publicly about Fountain Square and people were kind of, oh, what's this going to look like? There was a lot of meetings. I mean, there were so many meetings. And it is a small space for the amount of things that are happening there. It is a memorial. It is a fountain. It is a public park. And it's not a huge piece of land, It's pretty small, and it's in the middle of these major intersections. So it was a challenge to plan around that and all the things that people wanted to see and do there. But at the end of the day, it's beautiful. Now what, right? So that's where Downtown Evanston comes in. We have programmed a lot of things, and we did last year. So one of our longest standing events is Thursday Night Live, and it is free music every Thursday. Starts in June, and it's for 10 weeks. In the summer, every Thursday, we bring a live band. People come. They sit in those bistro tables now, or they bring their own chairs. We put out chairs. We saw some people bringing their own food, but it's also in the middle of all these restaurants. So we're really encouraging people to bring their dinner, sit at the table, listen to music, eat some good food that is, available from our over 90 restaurants in downtown Evanston. And
Definitely
we're
not a
even
food
talking,
desert.
No, we are not a restaurant desert. My God, we're trying to figure out if we can have local beer out there this summer. So stay tuned.
Oh, cool!
It's a public park, so there's no booze allowed, basically, at a public park. But we did test it last year at another event that we manage, which is the Kids Cats and Kids Block Party, and we had Smiley Brothers out there with a keg, and it was really successful. People were really stoked. We had some beer out there, So if we could provide that 1 or 2 or 3 of the Thursdays this year, we'll give it a shot and see if it's a success. We're also planning on kind of reconfiguring the way it was set up from last year so that we are all just south of it. Okay. Because last year we were literally having the band set up on the fountain because the actual water feature of the space was not working until the end of the year in terms of weather-wise.
So now you have to kind of plan
So now
for that.
we're like, that's going to be on. You can turn it off. The whole thing was meant to be programmed for festivals, so you can turn the water totally off.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, well, we have this amazing fountain. should we turn it off every Thursday? It's like one of the draws. So maybe we're thinking of, we're going to meet with the city special events committee and see if we can configure it so that it's just all south of Davis and close off the streets every Thursday. We have to get permission from the businesses, of course. We haven't started that process yet. So you heard it here first.
Wow. Well, that's really cool because then it makes the whole town into a festival every week.
Every Thursday. Exactly. And a lot of cities do this. And it is a draw. And it is, it's one of the reasons you wanted to live here. You know, we have these events weekly in the summer. There's always something to do. And it's free. Yeah, you really can't beat it.
You can't
and we
beat
do
it.
bring good music, we think. We had some really good bands last year. We've had, for 3 years now, this Beatles cover band, and it's really everyone's favorite. It's actually my favorite, too. But
what are they called?
Kaleidoscope Eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a blast. And all of the bands I think we had last year is just a total mix. We want something for every genre. So we do have jazz, we do have blues, we have rock, with the cover band, swing, kind of rockabilly. We haven't really tapped into like hip hop because that's more of a DJ and it is Thursday Night Live, so it's a live band. But we did have a hip hop dance class out there last summer, which was a huge fun a day. With some students that came out and they learned how to hip hop dance. So
that's fun.
We want to switch it up. We had a DJ event out there for the Kids, Cats, and Kids Block Party, as I mentioned. So yeah, we're open to anything.
And it's all free.
Yeah,
right? That's
totally free.
That's pretty awesome.
It's free to the people attending. It's not free.
Of course not.
To the commercial taxpayers down here. But that's the whole idea of the SSA. They levy their own taxes, and then it's the one and only time you get to tell an institution or government how you want your dollars to be spent.
Yeah.
So you pay taxes, and you don't know where the heck they go. But for an SSA, you collect your taxes, you put a levy on your property, and then you have an actual say-so on how it's spent. So flowers, that's another huge spend for our annual budget. All the flower planters down here are changed quarterly. And then the raised beds, we also put the tulips in there. Like I said, the garbage removal, annual power washing, all the holiday decorations on the street poles, the street pole banners, all of the social media that we do, all of the advertising that we buy, which is radio ads and display ads on the CTA. All of that is being paid for through this additional tax.
And now, is the tax paid for just by the commercial property owners?
Commercial only,
okay.
Yes. Residents do not pay in, but we are in the process, drumroll, of a reconstitution because the life of the district is going to expire this year, at the end of this year. So we're in the process right now of reconstituting it, and there is discussion of asking residents to pay in at a different rate that the commercial pays in. So we'll see. I will say that Evanston is the only community in Cook County that is allowed for the exception of residents paying in. Every SSA, which there are 55 in Chicago, residents pay in.
I mean, it makes sense because
it's like
you're
$50
benefiting
a
from it too.
year or so. It's not a huge ask, but taxes.
It's a
dirty word.
It's a very dirty word.
It's maybe the second dirtiest word in Evanston. I think parking is still number one.
Probably. Has the influx of the new rental buildings also helped benefit, or what has it done to change downtown Evanston?
We need density. Half of this town is water.
Right.
So fish don't shop, and we need density. So it's great. I'd love to see more residents, because that's just, a couple hundred other people that are an opportunity to spend their money here.
Right.
And that's what I think about when I see the residential buildings going up. I understand, too, I go to a lot of public meetings where a lot of concern is what happened to the quaint downtown that was of yesteryear, which is such an old-timey thing to say.
It is.
But that we are a downtown. This is a downtown. And that's where, that's where high rises belong.
Right.
Not talking about putting a high rise in West Evanston. That doesn't even make sense.
Right.
It makes sense here.
We have a transportation center. We have things that can handle it. And, I know it's not as car friendly, but that's one of the draws of why you want to have a lot of people in an area, because you can walk safely.
Our walk score is 87%, actually.
That's pretty amazing.
It's really good. It's really good. And we do, you and I are looking out windows right now, and you can see two train lines, the Metra and the CTA. And the Skyline.
And a tower crane.
And a crane for another residential development. Poor Tommy Nevins, although, it's okay. You can still get a beer in downtown Evanston.
You could definitely still get a beer around here.
Yeah.
Have the hotels helped the area also?
Yeah, I think so. There's something that will never go away here, and that's Northwestern.
Right.
So they're a huge driver for the hotel industry that we have. And we do have a lot of hotels here, if you think about it. It's the Holiday Inn, the Hyatt House, which is new, Orrington, which is the oldest, the Holiday Inn North Shore. No, am I saying that out? Hilton Garden Inn North Shore.
Right.
Right up the street. And then the smaller ones like the Margarita and the Homestead. So you kind of we have a fair amount of hotel rooms, and I definitely think that Northwestern is the generator for those.
Right.
But we're also seeing some Cubs traffic when the Cubs are good and the weather is warmer.
It's hard to think about right now, but yeah.
Definitely. And when there are big festivals and things like that in Chicago, we'll see an overflow here. Yeah. It's a quick, like we just said, it's a quick train ride.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And, as a Chicagoan, I hate to say this, but, the crime PR that is generated from Chicago is probably benefiting Evanston in that families would rather stay here, perhaps, than downtown Chicago, where you don't know what could be lurking around the corner.
Not a knock on downtown Chicago.
No, I love downtown Chicago. Don't get me wrong, but
beautiful.
It's had its troubles.
Yeah,
PR-wise.
PR-wise, for sure. And the lakefront, I think, is such a big thing too. Is the lakefront part of downtown Evanston?
It's not. No, we have a very strict boundary line.
Okay.
We promote the lake because we're 2 miles from the lake, so
sure.
It's great. But it's also kind of a tricky thing to promote because the beaches here are not for everyone, right? They are for Evanston residents.
True.
Yeah. There is a great program that the City of Evanston's Park and Rec Department has put together for the hotel. So if you do stay here, you can get tokens for your family, a beach pass as a tourist.
Can you not buy a token for the day if you're not an Evanston resident?
You can, yeah. But
that's so.
A lot of people are, they might get paid to go to the beach. Although I would, because they're super clean, which is why they charge.
It's like if you go to Europe and you want to use the bathroom, they charge you out there.
Exactly.
And they're clean.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. Who's paying for that? Exactly.
Right. What are some of the big new things that are happening around downtown Evanston that you know of or can share?
Yeah, right. I know a lot. What I'll share is probably some stuff that everybody has seen, kind of in the local news. A lot of people want to develop here, major developers, and not entirely certain. One of the kind of the fun things with this job is just actually not having the certainty of what will pass and won't pass. The as we refer to it, the Tommy Nevins development. That was, who knew where that was going to go? I mean, it was kind of neck and neck.
Right.
There was a lot of support for it. And I will say the development team behind that Albion development they're top notch. They're awesome. They've contributed a lot above and beyond what any other developer I've ever seen in a community bring to the table.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how so?
They've paid for murals. They gave Downtown Evanston additional money to buy advertising for the businesses directly like impacted.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. They have a program where ETHS students can sort of, I guess, what's the word I'm thinking? Job shadow the team over there, so the engineering team, the construction team. I'm trying to think. Oh, they're purchasing. They don't have to, but it's very common practice where a city would ask for a public benefit out of a developer. So theirs is still, I think, up in the air, but I think originally they were going to buy this solar farm. I can't really describe it, but that remains to be seen. So, anyway, they're very generous.
Area
Yeah.
Okay.
Across the street, there's like a little park at Park.
Oh, yeah.
And so these, it's like a empty train car, but rehabbed to be a linear farm for like greens and things like that, like a hydroponic.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, you're right. So
that park really isn't used right now.
No. It's got 3 benches, and I've never seen a single person on it.
Yeah.
And a water fountain. But what everybody knows about that little stretch is that that's where you can park for super cheap because those meters aren't up to.
That's right.
They are not up to the rest of the
I used to work on that block.
Yeah.
So I know it well.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless of what it is that they contribute to their public benefit line item in their overall project, they're doing it and, not like required state-wise or anything, but they've been a really great group. So the parking lot, the library parking lot, is one of the developments that remains to be seen.
Right, over on Chicago Avenue.
Right. So it's the library parking lot, the Downtown Evanston Library, main library. It's contentious. You're in between 2 pretty historic buildings, so the Women's Club and then Francis Willard's home is on, like, kind of bookending them. Well, I don't know. So that one was kind of tabled at the last city council, so just a week ago. But that won't be residential. That would be a commercial development, which would be great because all of our businesses, they are, fingers crossed, we need more workers. We have 10,000 daily workers in downtown Evanston. Maybe is a tinge more than 10,000, but
we could use more.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only so much office space that's currently available.
Exactly. And this is a great place to office, to have a headquarters or a building. It's convenient for your workers to get to.
And it supports all the businesses around here.
Definitely.
Like the hotels and the restaurants and the rental buildings. And
exactly.
then they buy houses here and it increases the property value for people.
It's all full circle, a great thing to have more office development here. So, I'm hopeful that it happens, but we'll see. Right. And then the Performing Arts Center, which was also kind of headline news about a year ago, maybe a little longer than a year ago, when originally the development team wanted to buy all of the businesses on Sherman Avenue from, like, kind of the Gap to Clark Street.
Okay.
Including the Gap, actually, which is the former Varsity Theater building.
Yeah.
So it's sort of almost to church, but
so
not
right
entirely.
Behind the old Marshall Fields building.
Yeah. Okay. So all of that was going to be this huge development, which was a hotel, office, parking, and a performing arts theater, I think with 2, maybe 3 stages. But that did not happen. A couple of things there, too, but honestly, one of the bigger things was I think that the aldermen were shy to give it their blessing because we had so many residents opposing it. Yeah. And I can see why. That's a very quaint, cute little part of downtown. Bookends and beginnings, one of the most charming stores anywhere I've ever been, is right down there. And then the Alley Gallery, which is also in the alley. How many businesses
it's beautiful.
have. That was going to go away if this was, supported. And I think their followers and that land is also owned by Northwestern. Not the buildings, the actual ground that those buildings are
So they have a ground
on.
lease on the property?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just went away. Okay, so that's fine. But there are places that it could still happen.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say where.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it would be fantastic to have Performing Arts Center here. Are you kidding? Like the idea that would dinner and a play. I mean, that's like the ultimate date.
Perfect.
Yeah. And we have all these restaurants. I mean, they would love to have that kind of, reason for more people to come here.
Right.
And evening dining. Our lunch business is strong. Our evening dining business could be better. I would love to have something like that was more of a nightlife attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Live performance, live music. I'd love to just pick up space and plop it in the middle of downtown.
I like Dempster.
I know,
in
I
Chicago.
do too. I totally do. No, it's
Got
great.
Blind Faith around the corner there. I
Definitely.
like that place.
No. I love that district. It's great.
Yeah.
But yes, I would love to have
I'm sure.
that kind of nightlife draw for sure. So I think the Performing Arts Center would fill that if we get it done. And the city's working hard to get it done, and it's no secret that it would be Northlight.
Yeah.
They would be the tenant. So fingers crossed on that one. And then Chicago Avenue, the Marion, I was going to say hotel, but the Marion, yeah, exactly. So that whole block on that side is owned by the same landlord, and they have been public about wanting to develop that as a mid-rise, I wouldn't say high-rise, residential development. So we'll see. I'm not sure where that one is. I think it might be nowhere. I think. I don't know. And then, of course, and I refer to all these things not as addresses, but I always refer to them as what it is or what it was.
Sure.
So
it's easier
Chase,
to know.
Yeah, well, it's definitely, what it is. The Chase Bank parking lot has also been a major piece of land. I mean, and it's like the one piece of land that's like not developed. It's just like this parking lot and then an empty lot next to it.
Some of the highest valued land in
Davis
the city.
Street, definitely. Yeah. So there has been, 2-3 development teams that have looked at that, have proposed, hasn't passed plan commission for the city, but they'll keep coming. They'll keep trying.
It'll happen at some point. What happened, by the way, with caffeine?
Oh my God, I don't. That's a revolving door of ownership.
Okay.
And I don't know. It's the second. I remember caffeine from way years ago before I had this job. And
I would go there in high school.
Yeah, and I never understood their model, if you will. Since I got this job, I'm like, that place is never open, and they just kept the weirdest hours. I don't know. Yeah. It's a shame, but we still have some funky coffee shops here. Like Unicorn is like my fave.
Yeah, and you've got a new one.
We have Collectivo from Milwaukee, huge,
beautiful.
Yeah, we have a Clutch. We are getting 2 more coffee shops.
Really?
Yeah, we're getting a Phil's coffee shop out of the West Coast, I believe, and it's an LA-based.
Oh, yes, I was out there.
Phil's with a Z.
I was out there in LA this past summer, and it was awesome.
Yeah, so they're taking the corner of Davis and Oak.
Really?
Kitty corner from the post office. So the old, it's a, why can't I think of it?
It was the craft shop.
No, that's Taco Diablo.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's
so
next
to
it. Yeah,
it was a studio, actually. But it's a Bow Trust building. It's very cool outside interior.
Awesome.
It's going to be, So that's a big one. People are pretty excited. I mean, people are really excited about Collectivo, but I think the buzz is very excited about Phil's. And then the former Cheesy's is now going to be a coffee shop as well. And there's one other in the area, and I feel so bad for not remembering the name of it. But I think it's going to be definitely more unique because it's got a real European kind of feel to it.
Okay. Where's Cheesy's at?
That's next to Koi on Davis. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I could find anything. It's
been on Evanston now.
Okay.
And I feel so bad. I can't remember the name of it. But I met the owner, and he's a delight. He's from Sweden.
Okay. Well, we'll have to go by there at some point.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like very Scandinavian, very clean, and the way that he was talking about the coffee that he's planning to provide was when he went down this like nerdy coffee rabbit hole, and I was like, okay, yeah, that should be great. I love coffee, but I just like, what it does.
You like the caffeine.
I just need the wake up. I don't,
right.
I don't get into the science of it.
And we have a pretty nice Starbucks in downtown Evanston also.
Yeah.
You're not a big Starbucks.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got a Starbucks. You know, it's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's great.
But there's good coffee.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Phil's.
I love Other Brother.
Yeah.
Awesome coffee shop.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. I love the owners, too. I think a lot of it has to do with the people behind,
If you could, have one wish for downtown Evanston, what would you want it to be?
Oh, my God. I have so many.
All right. You could name, so 3.
Okay. One we discussed, which would be, a nightlife generator, live music, live performance, kind of development. I would love a bigger budget for downtown Evanston, but mainly to have more public art. So we were instrumental in raising funds for 2 murals on Church Street last year.
Okay.
We worked with EMAP, Evanston Mural Art Program, which is under the umbrella of Art Encounter.
Okay.
And we found sponsors. Some stakeholders, major building owners that all contributed to a pot of money, which was $26,000, and it got us 2 really cool murals by Chicago muralists, pretty famous muralists in Chicago. And I would love to.
What's their name?
Jeff Zimmerman was the artist who did the wall to the south. It's the Metra line wall. And now I'm blanking on the other gentleman's name. Ugh. Okay. I only had one cup of coffee. No, I should know these things. I mean, I worked, to create that pot of money with our stakeholders, but it'll come to me.
If we had more money for art, what I would love to see is, that the Metra bridge that goes over Emerson and Ridge. Years ago, they put this tarp over it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
But,
I'm keenly aware. Yeah, that's discussed so often. All of our rail lines are in dire need of a paint.
Well, what I was thinking is, and I don't know if this would upset the residents because it would be bright, but to do some kind of cool light installation on the side of the bridge because it's so industrial and with neon blues and reds and something that says Evanston, but it would really accentuate the rust, it just looks so industrial. I don't know if there's a way to do it without blaring into people's windows, but it would look cool.
There was talk years ago of doing a green wall over there, so plantings and things like that.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely, not a cool art installation or a light installation. But underneath, you've seen the zigzag, right? So that's what kind of gave me that thought that put it up on the bridge too. Yeah, I don't see that flying. I'm not gonna lie.
No, probably not. It's just a cool idea.
Financially as well as neighborly. That's just
okay.
I don't see that one going down.
Yeah.
I like the idea though.
Thank you.
Let me go back to an idea that I think is super far-fetched. It's not on my wish list, but I've heard people talk about it. My wish list is more on the reality side.
Okay.
But that same line that you're talking about that's next to the unused rail line that's next to the Metra goes all the way to Elston in Chicago. And people have said, why can't we have a 606 here?
Oh, my God.
I mean, the money alone, good grief. But
look at the development that's happened on the 606.
I know. I'm
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
It would be crazy. Awesome. It will not happen in my time in downtown Evanston. I can assure you that. I just don't. The money, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's billions.
It's crazy money. It's crazy money. The 606 is 2 miles, right? 2.5 even?
Yeah.
2.3, I think.
Were you involved in all of that when
I was with the
Chicago?
city? No. That was a private partnership, a private-public partnership. The Friends of the 606, I think they were technically named, which was exactly what would have to happen here. There'd have to be like a grassroots group that like starts with bake sales, which is kind of how 606 started. I mean, they really started with nothing.
Yeah.
But super cool. I live right near there, and, I walk it all the time. It would be amazing. But that's
a big idea.
It happened.
Look, if it happened there, it could happen here.
It could. It doesn't have to go all the way to Elston. It could be smaller, 2 miles even,
Or at least if there's
Don Wilson knows all about this, by the way. So if you're listening, reach out to Don Wilson.
Okay.
The an alderman in Evanston, 4th Ward.
So please,
he's a big biker.
Do it for us. At least if it could connect you to the lakefront path without having to go through streets. That would be
that's
key.
huge, right? I used to, when I started this job 5 years ago, I was riding my bike here every day from my home in Humboldt.
Wow.
Yeah, but it got to the point, I was having late meetings, and I'm like, this is just frankly stupid. To be dangerous at night. I'll have all the lights. I have a helmet. I am a safety person.
People are texting.
But I have to take Clark for part of it, and that's no bueno at night. I just, no thanks. And then I was often, not more than once, trapped in a rainstorm where I'm like,
oh God,
on Damon, it's pouring rain, it's 9:00, my lights are, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Not worth it.
Metra, here I come.
Yeah, Metra's much nicer.
It is. It's the way to fly. Best tag ever.
It is the best tag ever, for sure. They're so smart. Now it's going to be in my head like all day. Yeah.
And somebody's got to win.
So, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So true.
Yeah.
So back to my wish list.
Back
which
to your
had
wish
to
list, yes.
do with billions of dollars. I'm kidding. But more money to provide these extra services. A lot of it, I would love, like I said, the public art piece would be huge. It's not cheap, public art. But it's such a benefit. And it's around for a really, really long time,
Yes.
I mean, these murals will last 10, 15 years if we seal them and take care of them and they get touched up and stuff like that. But the landscaping of downtown, I would love to actually have little, installations there as well. Sure, you've been up and down Michigan Avenue.
Yep.
And the Michigan Avenue Merchants Association, or Greater Michigan Avenue Association, they changed their name, has all of those really cool installations every year, something different in those planters. I would love to do something like that here, but I don't have the dough for that.
Needs money. Yeah.
Gotta raise your taxes, folks. Hate to say it, but
no.
Actually, they operate on a pass the hat this situation. They do not have an SSA on Greater North Michigan Avenue.
So it still works. They see the benefits.
They do. They've been trying to create one for years.
Yeah.
It's just never past the pain threshold of, because the taxes, my God. Not to get down this like nerdy rabbit hole, but the EAV, the equalized assessed value for North Michigan Avenue, is just outrageous. So to apply any tax against that on a major property like Hancock, would just be astronomical. So it's just never, they're just continuing to pass the hat, which would be our situation if our SSA went away here. And I think, downtown Evanston, frankly, would just go away, and everything that we provide would go away. So
it would be it would really hurt.
It would stink. It would stink.
Yeah.
We want to stay here, not just for my own job,
right?
Which is part of it. Yes. There are two of us that operate everything that we do. I mean,
But look at the efficiency of what you do.
Right. We're a small staff, but we get a lot done.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love this place.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, But it's nothing without this tax. I mean, I hate to say it. It's the pass the hat doesn't always work. And that's why so many SSAs were created in Chicago. They were all relying on festival money. So a prime example would be Old Town.
Yeah.
So Old Town has those 2 art fests. And if you have one weekend where it rains,
oh, you're done.
You're done. And that's exactly what happened to them about 10 years ago. And they had a rainy festival, no money, and they were using those monies as you would SSA dollars. So they were paying for flowers, street pole banners, all those things. You don't make money at one festival. What do? They're like, well, what do? We start an SSA. It's a sustainable line of income that you know is going to happen for the next 10 years.
Right. It's so much smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of the, working at the Department of Planning and Development for the City of Chicago, a lot of, I would always do the shell game kind of hand gesture for some of the money. But SSA money, I mean, it's the most transparent situation. Every SSA service provider has to have their budget on their website, their meeting minutes. I mean, you know exactly how that money is being spent. Not only that, you don't have politicians sitting in the room saying how this money is going to be spent. It is the taxpayers sitting around the table saying, you know what I want? Bike racks. Done. Christmas decorations. Done.
So much easier.
It is the time you get to say, this is what I want with my money.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I totally geek out on it.
You should. It's your job.
Yeah, it's cool.
And what are some cool events that we should all be going to?
Coming up, we have the Hygge Fest, our first ever.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
That's
okay.
how you pronounce it. Or as it reads, Hygge, right? Everyone's like, what's this
I'm like,
Hygge?
the Hygge Fest.
I'm like, it's a Scandinavian or more, it's a Danish way of life. So it's a Danish word, and it's pronounced Hygge. And I think if you get really throaty about it, be like Hygge. Or Hygge. No, I'm kidding. And it's definitely taken on here. I mean, it's been in Denmark and Scandinavian countries as a way of life to survive winter there, which is 6 months of the year. They don't have sunlight, and it's, polar vortex for 6 months there.
But they're ranked as like the best,
they are the
happiest people in the world because they have the Hygge Fest.
They have Hygge all day, every day.
Well, that's why everyone needs to come to this one.
Right. So we're promoting, some of our businesses that do provide some more of these and then it gets really wonky, Hygge, like kind of either activities or products. So drinking tea is huge there, comfy socks, sweaters, anything that's cozy. I mean, that's really what it gets down to is like, it's not brain science or brain surgery here or whatever. It's just rocket science. That's the word I'm looking for.
Brain surgery also
Brain
works.
surgery, yeah, we're not doing that in downtown Evanston. But we are getting cozy. So the Hygge event is, it starts Saturday, February 16th at Bookends and Beginnings, which is, frankly, one of the coziest little stores if you haven't been. It's an independent bookstore off the alley, Bookman's Alley, and it's, what's our first event there? I think it's at 4 o'clock. We're having Hygge 101.
And that's, by the way, between Benson and Sherman,
yes,
and in between Church and Clark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to the mattress store and take a left.
Or if you're on the other side by EAC, go down the alley.
There. Or Seville Flowers, one of our older stores, which is also very
beautiful flowers.
Hygge, super cozy in there.
Yeah. I've ordered their flowers before.
Yeah, they are one of our oldest stores.
How long have they been in business?
They want to say 68 years or something.
That's awesome.
All family owned, generation. Lemoy is the oldest.
Gotcha.
Lemoy, I think if I screw this up, I apologize, but I mean well. It's Lemoy.
Lemoy Ace Hardware.
Then yes, that's the oldest, and it's the oldest store in Evanston, not just downtown.
There are 4
Evanston.
generations, I think it says on their building. Yeah.
I love that place.
I was there this morning.
Easily my favorite store in downtown Evanston because of the smell. I love it.
Do you see comedians in cars drinking coffee with David Letterman when they go into a hardware store?
Yeah,
and Dave Letterman just goes in and he breathes in. And
I
he's
love that.
Yes.
I love that show. I love that show. But I love the smell of that place. It reminds me of my childhood because my mom was always taking me to an Ace Hardware, and it's like that hose, the rubber hose smell.
Exactly.
Oh my God,
That's got to be what it is.
It's so great. I also love the smell of Seville, which is like that florist smell. Oh my God, there's like maybe nothing better. So I think they rounded out. It's like Ace, then maybe Benison's, Williams, Seville. Those are the top four.
Yeah.
I don't know the ranking order. I should.
That's okay.
Yeah. They're all like pretty close though. I mean, like over 60 years.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That shows you that business can survive.
You can
have a thriving business
survive. Yeah. Against the internet. Although the shoe store, they're one I kind of worry about them.
Oh, really?
Zappos, I mean, people, you hear these statistics all the time, like the biggest things that are purchased online. Dog food apparently is number one.
Yeah.
Which I, as a dog owner, could see, because lugging that...
It's heavy.
It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But shoes, huge amount of people. Now, I never would buy a pair of shoes online. I have to try them on.
It's
you don't know what you're
how
getting.
do you know what you're getting and if it's going to look good
and
on
then
you?
you're just sitting there with a pair of shoes that don't fit. I'm not going back to... then I have shoes that don't fit for the rest of my life because there's no way I'm packing them up. That's the problem with me for online shopping is because I'm 100% lazy. You think you're lazy ordering it, but then when you want to return it, oh my God, who's got time for that?
I know.
I just can't.
But yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
No, I'm not. There's no way I'm doing that. Back to Hygge. So we have these Hygge-based stores and activities, and so we just thought we'd promote them. So to learn about Hygge, we have this event at Bookends and Beginnings with a woman who will give a speech, or not a speech, but like a discussion on formerly lived in Denmark and grew up with this way of life here in Chicago. And so I think it'll be a great thing to hear from her. And then there will be like Hygge-based books that are for sale. I actually have one, the Little Book of Hygge. And I actually just went to Denmark.
You're really into this.
I'm way in. Yeah, I'm in. So, I mean, it's interesting when you have this kind of job, you will see, it's typically what you are interested in is sort of what you program. Yeah, it's very self-serving.
Yes.
But we're going to have a knitting class at Close Knit on Orrington. And just yesterday, not here on your sheet that you printed for me so that I could cheat because I don't own my own programs, is a euchre night.
Really?
Yeah, at Smiley Brothers on the 21st.
Okay.
So the Chicago Euchre Club is going to come and host their first ever euchre night in Evanston at Smiley Brothers at 7 o'clock on the 21st.
Awesome.
If you don't know what euchre is,
Tell us.
I don't really. I know it's a card game, and I know it's very popular in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Also, pretty miserable places in the winter. So, and it's like a winter-based card game. Technically, you can play it all year, but I think you really hunker down and play these games like in the dead of winter when you just need to get the heck out of the house, which is the entire point of inviting them up here. To Smiley Brothers, which is also like one of the coziest bars. We have a lot of cozy places, and that's the whole thing with Hygge. So to see more about Hygge, downtownevanston.org for a full list of events. But special coffee hour, silent reading, Other Brother, which is fika, which is a Swedish daily routine for Swedes where they take their break, kind of like the siesta.
Cool.
Only they don't take a nap, they drink coffee.
Yeah.
Which we do a lot of in this town, so I think it will be
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of options.
We do. I'm trying to think of other things. So Thursday Night Live, we haven't booked our bands yet. If you are a band and you're interested, info at downtownevanston.org to submit your band for a possible slot in our 10-week slot of free music. What else do we have going on?
Where are you on social media?
We're strong, I think.
I mean, what's your handles? Where should people follow
hashtag.
you?
Yeah. Oh, social media. We're on Twitter, but we're barely there, right? We don't really tweet. We kind of retweet every once in a while. I'm not even ashamed to say it. Mostly we retweet anything that the city of Evanston puts out, especially like we just had all these emergency parking things.
Yeah.
And Instagram, I think, is our best platform right now. Laura, who works with me, is our she's a millennial, okay? She takes really good pictures, and she's adorable and puts out these adorable posts. I'm in charge of Facebook because I'm old. So Facebook, Downtown Evanston, and Instagram, Downtown Evanston as well.
And Twitter, Downtown Evanston?
Yes, but no O.
No O?
And in the second O.
Okay.
So it's down TWN.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was already somebody.
So, yeah, you
Okay.
know, really.
Are you guys on LinkedIn or MySpace or Friendster?
What are those?
LinkedIn
No.
you might be on, actually.
Not as an organization, just individually. But
Okay.
we kind of fooled around with Snapchat for a second. Well, I didn't. I watched Laura, and I
Okay.
was like, yeah, no.
You're not doing it
I'm not
anymore?
doing that. She even was like, I think I'll just stick to Instagram.
Okay. Instagram's easy. I like Instagram.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are platforms that, I can't even, I'm sure that are coming up that,
Right.
we'll have to hire a 12-year-old to teach us how to do it. But
Exactly.
until then, Instagram and Facebook is a great way to see what we're doing. We post a lot. We do a very good job.
That's
sharing
awesome.
It. Yeah.
No, I follow you guys, so it's really good to be able to know what's going on by looking at
Thank
those
you.
pages. So,
Yeah.
wow, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think I learned a lot today.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Again, downtownevanston.org, info@downtownevanston.org if anyone has questions about what we do or suggestions. That's more what I like to hear. I'll answer questions all day, but I love suggestions. You know what you should do? Secretly, I'm like, you know what? Don't tell me what to do. But then I'm like, okay, what do you want?
It gives you a good idea.
I'll steal them. I call it R&D, rip off and duplicate all day.
It's true. It's how
Yeah.
things get done.
It is. I didn't create Hygge,
Right.
but I will make an event about it.
No, it's going to be an
Right?
awesome event.
I think it's going to be cool. It will be fun.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things planned for that. A lot of get out of the house and sort of be around people, which is like exactly what the whole idea of Hygge is. One of the bigger parts of that is like potluck dinners.
Yeah.
They don't watch a lot of TV over there. They're better for it.
They are. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's if you're connected socially with other people, that's what makes you happy.
Yeah, it's conversation. And of course, when I think about this, I'm like, oh my God, what do you run out? I literally don't have a lot to talk about except for the TV shows that I watch.
Yeah.
Have you seen Marvelous Miss Maisel? All right, I'll talk to you about that.
Exactly.
Outside of that, I'm like,
Well, I was talking about like organizing my clothes or something, and someone's like, "Oh, did you see?
Yeah.
What's the name of that show?
Spark. No.
Spark Joy.
Yeah, if it doesn't spark joy, now, oh my God, it's
Oh.
so funny. What is it called? Tidying Up.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know that I have been thinking about a tidying up event now? I'm like, how do we do this? What do we
How
do?
do you do that?
I've got ideas, but
Send
none
your
of them
suggestions.
none of them really say go shopping.
Oh,
It's like, oh.
No.
But we should donate. This is okay. This is where my head is. We we get all these people to donate their clothes that they do not spark joy
yeah.
any longer. We take those clothes and we give them to an organization that helps women getting out of prison
Okay.
go to job interviews. And if you bring in so many bags or whatever, then you would get like downtown bucks.
Oh,
And then you go fill up your closet again. Kind of not, I think, what Maria Kondo is pushing.
but that's kind of the thing. It's like you can get rid of the old and bring in some new.
Yeah,
And
give me a break. We're all going to be buying stuff for the rest of our lives. That's what we do.
That's what we do. By the way, that sparked a memory that I have. I used to work for a developer in downtown Evanston, and we were doing like a newsletter for marketing our projects. And I had we had a project where we gave a friend of mine like $250 or whatever it was to go around and spend a day in downtown Evanston. We walked around, we went to lunch, he bought shoes, he bought all these things, and we wrote about it. And it was like it was one of my best days. It was so much fun. Shout out to you, Henry.
Oh my God, I love that.
Well, with the smile on our faces,
yes,
I want to say thank you so much, Annie, for being on Inside the Skev.
It was great.
Yes, it was so much fun. And everyone, please go to downtownevanston.org and follow them on Instagram and Facebook. And go to the events. Go, have fun. Shop in downtown Evanston.
Yes, spend your money.
Spend your money. Buy houses and condos and stuff, too. I'm happy to help with that. And thank you.
Thank you.